Well, you got to be a part of it. I'll tell you who doesn't want to be a part of something. Apparently, Turner Broadcasting may be having second thoughts, and this is not going where you think it is, folks. It's not even about the wrestling program over there. Did you hear about? I want to say this is one of the most hilarious things I've ever heard of, and at the same time, it's not something we should joke about or make fun of. It's sort of like the George Carlin routine where he said, people say that it's just under no circumstances can you joke about rape. Well, imagine Porky Pig raping Elmer Fudd. So I'll deliver the details. I don't know if it's ironic, the phrase here. People will understand what I'm going for in a second. Dana White, the originator and founder, and it's, well, not the originator, but the founder, but the former
neither
guy,
of those things. No.
Neither of those things. The former head guy at the Ultimate Fighting Championships before they sold the thing to the big corporate world, and he's still a bigwig. But he had a new television program coming out, and it was going to be on TBS, and the name of it was PSL, the Power Slap League. And the theory behind or not the theory, but the sport of this, what they were going to do, and I've seen clips, and this is a shoot, people. I'm not making this up. They get whoever these fucking guys are that want to be involved in this, and they stand them up next to each other, in front of each other, and they take turns. And there's some rules to how long you've got or what the fuck. You can't just run from 20 feet or whatever. They just stand there, and they open hand slap each other as hard as they can in turn until somebody either quits, I guess, and gets knocked out, gives up, whatever the case. It almost like one of those strong style wrestling matches where they stand there and chop each other, except this is for a shoot to the side of the head and the face and can cause deafness and brain damage and, broken cheekbones, eye sockets, whatever. And apparently there's some element of people that want to do this, right? And they already have these kind of competitions, which he didn't come up with it. He's just bringing it to television. So he got these knuckleheads slapping the piss out of each other. And the show was going to debut on TBS after AEW Dynamite, right, Brian? That was on the Wednesday night slot, right? After Dynamite, not
I
after
believe
Wednesday.
so. I believe so, because those commercials were airing nonstop.
Yes. And this was supposed to be, I think Dana White was thinking, well, like the Ultimate Fighter TV show came after Raw, I'll get the fucking Power Slap League. Like there's, again, a one-note thing I would have to think after a while. I don't know if this would sustain viewers, but he'd think that would do the same thing, get the wrestling audience, whatever. And I guess the debut is going to be next week or whatever. And over, was it New Year's weekend? It was the holidays, but it came out on New Year's weekend. Whatever the case, there's video from a camera of somehow in a nightclub, in a casino somewhere in Las Vegas. Maybe it was somebody's phone, and it didn't look like a security camera. It looked like somebody just videoing somebody because they know there's somebody famous and they're across the fucking bar. And there's Dana White and his wife. And they're obviously not happy with each other because she's looking distraught and he's kind of standing there, and she turns around and she slaps him, and he turns around and slaps her back. Domestic violence is not something we should make mockery of. But how many, I'm just going to ask this question, Brian, and then I'll turn it over to you to try to take some of the heat off of me. How many other people ever accused of or witnessed doing domestic violence actually had a television show debuting on national cable within a week where the very fucking domestic violence that was going on in this video is the rules of the fucking sport?
It is astounding. We brought up if Vince McMahon did baseball earlier. It would be like if he launched a baseball league and the day before he was on video just beating people up with a bat.
With a baseball bat.
What does it tell you that they didn't cancel the show? They've only announced that they've delayed it.
Well, here's the thing. I heard two things. Now, I heard that it was delayed for a week. Where'd the video come out? Probably TMZ, right? That's where everything.
I think so.
Hey, check your fucking colonoscopy videos, folks. They got a fucking way to record every camera ever. So your fucking internal sphincter may be on TMZ next week. But they said they delayed it, and then I heard a follow-up saying that this show is dead except for the paperwork hadn't been done yet. So I don't know if we're going to see it, but we'll see. But at the very least, it God damn it.
Here he is, the president of Power Slap, Dana White. Friends, I've been practicing Power Slap, not just with my friends, but in bars with my wife for years. And I'm ready to bring this new sport to the world.
Now, and let's be fair. Also, he came out and he said, and both of them apparently have said they were both drunk. And it was an unfortunate thing. It's never happened before. It's not something that goes on. And they both would like everybody to leave them alone. But goddamn. I mean, it just wouldn't have been so fucking ironic or whatever if he'd have kicked her in between the fucking legs like a goddamn field goal. It wouldn't have been so fucking... Come up with an entire television show based around slapping people. And then fucking both of them, it wasn't even him slapping her. She slapped him too. They're so slap happy whites. Well, there's their fucking ring announcer, Slappy White. Is he still around? Google Slappy White. God damn it, this is more fun than I thought it was going to be. Is Slappy White still alive? He can't be. He'd have to be 105.
Slappy White died in 1995.
How old was he?
He was born in 1921. Hold on.
Okay, well, he'd be
74 when he died.
He'd be 102, 1921. All right, well, Slappy can't make it. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Anyway, well, I'll tell you what, folks. If you'd like to make it to your mailbox to pick up some... Well, I got sidetracked and it's time. If you'd like to make it all the way to your mailbox for one of the most awesome days of the month, one of the most exciting times, something you can look forward to, something you can mark on your calendar on the refrigerator, something you can have that date tattooed on the back of your kid's neck. So every time you grab him by the scruff of the neck and say, go out to the mailbox, you can make sure it's the date that this box of awesome is going to come from Bespoke Post or Bespoke Post. We're still waiting for a phonetic pronunciation guide. But the box of awesome arrives once a month, and when you unbox this thing, you will find that every item involved in it, and anything that comes out of a box gets over, but every unique item is hand-curated, selected for you based on your interests from a small business that you probably would have never heard of otherwise. Now, let's say there's some tinker. They still have tinkers, right? People work with their hands these days. It's not all mechanized. It's not all heartless, cold machinery. Some people roll up their sleeves and they do work with their hands. And they either plow the fields and they farm, or they get in there and they hammer and they chisel and they tinker. Mama Cornette used to say sometimes she didn't give a tinker's damn, so maybe they build dams. I don't know what tinkers do, but they handcraft things and they build them, and then Bespoke Post selects, curates them, if you will, and puts them in their boxes of awesome, and they come to you. Whether it be cozy home essentials, travel must-have, cocktail kits, knives. They got knives.
Yeah.
Protect yourself in case you're
Watch out.
The other people in the house may be plotting against you and you need to carry something at all times. Get some of these knives. But whatever the case, you just jump on to boxofawesome.com. which right there, it gives you a good feeling. You're entering into a box of awesomeness. Boxofawesome.com. You take the quiz because you tell them what things you're interested in. They'll figure out what they got that matches what you want, and they will send you every month a box of awesome, and they release a ton of them every month across a ton of different categories and genres, or genders, as some people say. Each box is valued at around $70, but you only pay a fraction of that price. You're going to be fucking these people around, and you're going to enjoy it. You're going to be cheating them. You're going to be getting this stuff for a fraction of the price that they could get if they actually sold it piece by piece out in the real world, but instead they're just packing it up and sending it to you. And you're supporting small businesses who at the other end, well, there's that tinker in that basement with that hammer and a chisel behind his ear, and he might even be chained to a bench, and he has to tinker enough dams to meet his quota that day, or his landlord won't let him up into the daylight. So these people are buying some of his shit and helping him get out there and enjoy the fresh air. 90% of everything comes in your box of awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand that you may then say, hey, I'd like to invest in. I'd like to take over Joe's Discount Framostats. And then you can do a hostile takeover. You can fuck Joe out of his life's work, and you can be on Easy Street. But first, you got to go to boxofawesome.com. And right now, if you do, and enter the code JCE at checkout, you're going to get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com, code JCE. 20% off your first box of awesome. All you need is the code JCE. When's the last time you got 20% off the cost of some box?
I don't pay for my box usually, but I will pay for Box of Awesome.
That's because it's awesome. It's not merely normal, everyday, regular box.
Find a box that fits you. Oh, God damn it. I don't even know what I'm saying. But check out the Box of Awesome from Bespoke Post, otherwise known as Bespoke Post. More information on that later. This is your show.
Yes, and just find a box that fits your interests, and you'll be happy.